So last week, I got an opportunity to present my 8 keys to professional growth to a group of small business owners. When we got to talk about the 8 keys for professional growth, we really were talking about what's next. After you start your journey for business, as you start your journey for engagement, what is next in your life? What is the next step? How do you recreate things over and over and over again? I gave them my SPARK acronym from my book, Find Your Happy, but I really wanted to hone in on some next steps that they could really gravitate to. And what we came up with were the 8 keys. Now, I'm not going to give you all the keys in one sitting, but I do want to go ahead and throw out the first 4. And the first 4 are: know your why, build your network, understand your markets, and construct your system. When you're doing your 8 keys and you're building your business and you're building your small business and you're building your reputation, or you're building your brand, or you're trying to be engaged at work, you're really looking at just opportunities to grow yourself personally and professionally. And the first thing we always talk about in professional development is know your why. And I always look at ways to ask myself questions. I lead with a spark, with a line of inquiry, the line of questioning, basically asking myself why I do what I do. So the questions I come up with is, why do I do what I do? What do I do? And does the passion ooze out of what I do? So ask yourself that question. Why do you do what you do? What is it that you actually do? And does the passion ooze outside of you? You have to be true to yourself. You have to be true to your contract. I have a personal contract with myself. It's 3 simple words. I am powerful, I am loving, and I'm authentic. And those are the 3 things that are on my contract, and helps me lead in my why. It helps me lead in whatever I set my mind to. If it's in my small business, or if it's in my job as a consultant, if it's in my job as a teacher, as a mentor, whatever it is, I lead with those 3 things. You have to stop having this job mentality. When you're building your business, when you're building your brand, you are no longer a job. You are a brand. And when you have the brand mentality, you lead with that why. So when I walk out of my door, when I go to a stage to speak, when I go into a school to consult, or when I am just there mentoring or coaching up a small business owner or an employee, or just having conversations with a friend, I lead with that brand value of that why. And they're the 3 words: I'm powerful, I am loving, I am authentic. The second key is build your network. There was a quote in the 1920s by Calvin Coolidge that says, the chief business of America is business. Whatever you look at, whether it's in education, whether it's in healthcare, whether it's in banking and financing, politics, church, each entity runs like a business. Either you are a buyer or you're a seller, and you need to know the difference. If you're not selling someone a product, if you're not selling someone an idea, then that means that you're buying. That means you're the consumer. You're taking their idea, or you're taking their product, and you're adding it to your life. Networks are about deposits and withdrawals. When you go into a network, whether it's a group of consultants like yourself or a group of small business owners like yourself, you are wanting to withdraw the information that you get there, but you also have to add value to that group. And that's where most people miss out on networks, because they don't understand that they have to add value when they go to these certain places and these certain spaces. So you have to remember that your network is a 2-way street, and you have to give a deposit as you take a withdrawal. And when you see 2-way streets, you have one side flowing to the other side. But you have to remember, as you flow from one side to the next, streets are going to intersect. And that's just intersectionality. You're going to cross paths with somebody that's either like you or somebody that's different from you, and that's diversity. And you have to be willing to have an open mind to work with other people that are like you, and then other people that are not like you, that intersects and crosses pathways. But always remember, you're going in it with your contract, and my contract is power, love, and authenticity. So when I walk into something and I'm giving love in a space, I'm making sure that I deposit as well as withdraw. You have to look at some things that you can tap into, because a lot of people don't like to be challenged. But the thing about being challenged in a small group or being challenged in a network group is the challenge is really not for the challengee, but it's for the challenger. When that person sets a challenge to you, they're really trying to see if the content or the knowledge that they have is going to actually land and resonate, and is there something they need to fix with their message. One thing that we say at Ready, Set, Go is we talk about knowledge is power when it's applied or it's given away. So when you're in a network and you're giving a deposit into your network or into your circle, you giving your knowledge to that circle with the expectation to get something out of that circle so that you can go and apply it to the world. So know that in your network, you're going to be challenged, and a lot of people don't like to be challenged. But remember that the challenge is not usually for you, it's for the challenger, and seeing if it actually resonates. The third key I want to talk about is understanding your markets. When we have small businesses, or when you are in a space where it's just you growing a single LLC or a single business, or you might be a 1099 employee, independent contractor in a business, a lot of people don't understand the market in which they're in. You have to know the market and what the market is asking for. Therefore, you have to know your clientele. In the small business conversation that I was having, that was one thing that resonated with some of the members in the conversation was, did they really know their clientele? And I spoke to one lady that had a furniture store, and I said, have you ever thought about taking your furniture or your pieces or your arts and putting it in a real estate showing, staging setting? And it wasn't saying that, she was doing anything wrong. I was just saying you could take a couple of your pieces, put it in a real estate sector where we have a big real estate boom in our area, and then we're also a tourist town, and somebody could see your art, and then therefore you can boost your clientele. She took that information, ran with it, got on the news this week, and she even had someone come into her store that saw her painting on the news and said, hey, I saw this painting, I want to buy it. She ended up not buying the painting, but she got a person to come in and patron company, and then also bought other items other than what they saw on the news. But that was, once again, knowing the market, getting out there to the clientele, and getting your face out there. When you are understanding your market, you have to be honest, you have to be authentic, and you have to be you. And when I say be, I'm talking about the state of being. Don't try to be someone else. You can't speak like someone else. You can't own the business that person has. You don't have the ability to do it, because you do, but you're just not them. So you need to be wholly you, holistically you, and always authentically you. So be authentic, and develop a niche. And when you develop the niche, let people know this is what you do. Once again, going back to the small business conversation, we were talking about social media and understanding the market and going straight to our clientele. And some of those business owners got straight on the ball and went straight to social media. And you could see some of the things being implemented from the actual talk. So what I want you to do is understand your market, be honest, be authentic, be yourself, develop a niche, and let people know that you're in that market. You're the best speaker. You're the best banker. You're the best financing guy. You're the best bookstore or retail person. You're the best at what you do. And if you're not the best at what you do, it's okay to be honest and realistic and say, you know what, I need to develop skills. I need to develop knowledge. I need to go build a network to where I can grow in the market that I'm in. And the last key I want to tackle today, and we will come back with the other fours at a later date, there is no such thing as a one size fits all, because I want you to construct a system that is for you. When you look at small businesses, when you look at 1099 employees in independent contractors, even employers in a business, they don't really have a structure. When I go to a 9-to-5, I look at it as a contract. I am paid a salary for my time, and my time is the number one commodity that I have in my life. It's something that I can't get back. So when I go to my job and I give my time, I'm expecting to get everything out of my time with that organization, and that organization is expecting to get everything me for the resources that they provide for my family and for my life. So once again, a system is not a one size fits all. It's your system. Embrace the differences that you have in something and different from someone. Your system is not going to be like everyone else's system. So the number one thing I ask small businesses, I ask 1099 employees, I ask employees that are at businesses, I said, do you have a structure that actually fits you? And when you look at your structure, the next question you could say in your structure, do I actually talk to the people I need to be talking to? So if you're a retail person, are you getting to the people that are actually buying your product? If you are a speaker, are you actually going to places where you can actually get on stage and give valuable content and value add to an organization? If you're a consultant, do you have a system or do you have a program that fixes problems? Do you understand the problem that needs to be fixed? A lot of organizations have what they call these customer relationship management systems, or CRMs. They have these client relationship management systems and they're like, oh, this CRM. But most people look at the CRM as just one more task to do. But the thing about a CRM is it's supposed to be something that fits you, that works for you. Your CRM should be something that helps you flow the relationship in perpetuity. Meaning, if someone is coming into your organization and they are buying from you, or they're getting some knowledge from you, or they're gaining some type of product or service from you, you should be recording that at some point. Once again, I went to a small business conversation. One of the small business owners told me she likes to record everybody that comes in her store. And the reason why she tallies traffic in her store is not because the actual customers that's in there, but it's also key into her, like, oh, I had 15 customers today. How can I go to 16 tomorrow? Or how can I go to 20 by the weekend? But she also has a recording pad where you can put your email down to receive emails and get on her seed list, where she can email you products, promotions, things that are going on in her store. So once again, do you have something? Do you know who you're supposed to be talking to? Do you know how to reach them and how to add value? And then the last thing is, do you have something that helps you record the flow? Whether you're coaching a program, whether you are speaking for a living, consulting, 1099 employee, 9-to-5 employee, do you have the ability seek for something that you're missing in your business, or you're missing in your credentials, or is there something that you're missing? How do you solve the miss, right? Like, how do you solve the missing part? I give you an example for myself. As a speaker, I think to myself, like, okay, most speakers get up and they have a story to tell, or they have content to give. The number one thing I do as a speaker is I always talk about level setting. I go into organizations and I add value. But before I go into the organization, I have a couple of pre-meetings where we sit down and we talk about level setting. What's your problems? What are some things that you're looking to gain out of it? What's the ROI? What is the climate like inside the organization? Is it receptive? Is it combative? Is it something where people are looking for joy, happiness, satisfaction, constructing a system, building a network? I look at three main components, and I call it my components for success. In theory, it's called the self-determination. But one of the things is autonomy. Most people are looking at how to build something within themselves that they have total control over, and there's not someone sitting over there. Even if you're a 9-to-5 person, you like that sense of autonomy where you can actually do your job without being micromanaged. And the same thing is with small businesses. The other thing is competence. People want to build knowledge and skills. When I go to a 9-to-5 job, or I build a business, or I'm working as an independent contractor, or I'm working as a speaker, I want to know the ROI of what I did is going to be conducive after. So it's about building knowledge and skills, which is called competency building. Last thing is going to be relatedness. I like connecting with people, and people like connecting with people. We were not made to be by ourselves. I call it suffering alone. You're made to be in a circle with other people. Life is done in a circle, not in a straight line. So when I think about relatedness, when I go to an organization and I speak, I want to know who in that organization can I follow up with, and then ultimately build a relationship with that leads to either another booking or an opportunity to have a referral. Once again, I did a small business opportunity last week, And in the small business opportunity, one lady left and said, you know what? I called my friend in Georgia. She's in the medical field. And I said, everything he said made sense and it's relatable because it's not just one industry. It's actually building a structure for an opportunity to be successful. Really, really simple. And I want to leave you with this. Creativity is about thinking, but innovation is about doing. These keys are going to help you go beyond being this creative mind that just has all these thoughts with no action. And innovation is going to push you forward so that you can start to do. Until next time, I'll give you my 4 keys later. Talk to you soon. Peace.